Hello, my name's Cade Richardson. Today we're going to be talking about business ethics and Balenciaga. Recently, they were in the news for a controversial ad they put out, and we'll get to that a little bit later. First, I'd like to start with the company overview. It was founded by Cristobal Balenciaga in 1919 in San Sebastian, Spain. They did 75 million in revenue in 2021. They are a high-end fashion brand, a lot of celebrity connections and influence into it. The areas of ethics I want to talk about today are their environmental responsibility, their animal rights responsibility, any ethically dubious missions and connections, which there was just the last week, I believe, the ad that they ran and it got a lot of backlash. We're going to talk about corporate social responsibility and cultural ethics. Their environmental responsibility and protection, according to different articles I read, this one, Good On You, a brand rating site, it's rated probably most of the top brands. It gave them the second highest score, which is good. They cited that Balenciaga has a target to reduce greenhouse gases emitted by their supply chain and operations to zero, and they're on target for that track, according to this article. It also has a policy against deforestation of ancient and endangered forests and uses a few eco-friendly materials, which could be a little better, but using eco-friendly materials is a good start. It reduces chromium and other hazardous metals and chemicals from leather when they're doing their tanning process, which is a good thing for the environment. Their animal rights, and the fashion industry ethically has been under fire from animal associations, animal rights groups, and it makes a lot of sense. And I mean, we all eat meat, and I get that wearing around animals is ethically maybe not the best thing, but in today's time, it's generally viewed as culturally kind of taboo or unacceptable. You're not really, like, it doesn't have the status it used to bring. It kind of is like, ooh, like, it's kind of messed up a little bit. And I don't know, maybe that's right, maybe that's wrong, but that's how it is. They've cut down the use of exotic skins and furs, so they still use leather, but they don't consider that exotic, right? And rightfully so, like crocodile or zebra or something that they're getting. But they track most of their animal products from the first stage of production, so they know a lot of where their stuff comes from. And it's a start. On that rating, they got like the third highest by this website that rates companies, and so it's a start on that too. And actually, I would argue that they're probably ahead of the curve with many other like companies regarding this kind of stuff. And now we're going to get into a little bit of this ethically dubious missions and connections. About last week, the new line of Balenciaga children wear featured a child holding a BDSM teddy bear, which is a bondage teddy bear. And if that wasn't enough, that is like, okay, like that's weird, and maybe that's probably not socially accepted, and that's not really the norm, and I get that. But then there was another ad that had court documents in view and the court, the lawsuit or the case had to do with child pornography. And that is very concerning. And there was an apology from the creative director, which is Demna, I believe, and the company. They vowed to launch external and internal investigations along with $25 million lawsuits, or one lawsuit that's $25 million against the producer of one of the ads. They're also pretty much condemned for most of the social sphere and a lot of celebrity platforms. A lot of people have been talking about how celebrities aren't quick to cancel them. Kim Kardashian, for example, she's getting a lot of flack for not condemning him, but she's got probably tons of money and things interconnected with Balenciaga and their brand, and they do a lot of cutting-edge stuff, and that makes it hard ethically for a fashion company. And it's not that they're the sole driver of culture, but they're a big part of it, and it has a lot to do with, like, as the changing of times happen, clothing seems to change with it as well. For example, in the United States, when you go to the beach, usually you see people, and women and men, shirts off, bikini, whatever. And in other countries, some women don't even walk around the streets with any skin showing. So that's an example of how fashion and culture are pretty connected. And that brings me to my next point, which is cultural ethics, and it really just has to do with the fact that Balenciaga knows that most of the world looks down upon pedophilia, rightfully so, I would say. And by doing this, I don't know if I can't attribute this to all of Balenciaga, but by doing this, they have kind of shown to be a little bit tone deaf, which maybe isn't the right phrase, but that's how I can explain it, to what countries' views are around this sort of sexualization of minors and child pornography, court case documents being shown. An apology may work, but the company now more than ever probably has to make sure that it's sound with all its ethics, and hopefully there's not more that comes from the story. But I think people are definitely paying more attention to them. Corporate social responsibility, from their page on sustainability, their comment was, "It is our goal to innovate without harming humans or our environment." And I'd say they haven't harmed any humans that anyone really knows of yet, and hopefully they haven't. But they are doing a pretty good job on the environment and animal front, which is good for, the triple bottom line, everybody, it's good for everything. But, yeah, they've got a lot of stuff to work through. And what I've learned from doing this project is that companies that accidentally or on purpose clash with cultural norms, opposed to like actually breaking the law, frauding people out of millions, can face a lot of like the same liabilities that come with something like that. Like just the fact that consumers may stop, buying things from Balenciaga because of this. And I don't know if I can see that happening, but we'll see. But they're definitely on thin ice right now. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.